Since I was unable to be in lab for this project, I decided to recreate it in my kitchen. Using this process, it will also help you to create the perfect cup of coffee at home. So first I'll begin by washing my hands. Next I would measure out 150 grams of green Colombia coffee beans and roast them in the Nesco roaster for 22 minutes in order to create a light roast coffee. Next I will grind these beans for 10 seconds in my coffee grinder. After this I will measure out 20 grams of coffee grounds and add them to my French press brewer. I chose the French press because I prefer strong coffee with some amount of oil in it. Now I will heat 320 grams of hot water, which is initially 23 degrees Celsius. I will heat the water until it reaches 95 degrees Celsius, measuring it with a thermometer. The energy usage for heating this water is 0.03 kilowatt hours. Next, I will pour the measured hot water into my French press brewer. I chose to decrease the extraction time slightly from the brew done in lab, so my extraction time is now 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Halfway through this time, I've chosen to stir the coffee so that hopefully the TDS will be better and the grounds will be more evenly distributed. Once the 4 minutes and 30 seconds has passed, I press down the top of my French press to finish my coffee. Next, I will pour it into my cup and evaluate the taste. The flavor is not acidic, very well balanced, and an overall very good coffee. The fragrance is good as well. Using these exact measurements and processes, I can guarantee a great cup of coffee. In terms of the energy usages for this brew, the energy to roast per gram was 0.00138 kilowatt hours. If you multiply this by the 20 grams used in the coffee, it comes out to 0.028 kilowatt hours used for the entire roast. The energy we used in heating the water for the brew was 0.03 kilowatt hours. Therefore, in total, the energy was 0.0576 kilowatt hours. This energy usage is pretty good, and it's fairly similar to most of the other brews we use that were a lighter roast, but in order to minimize these energy costs, I did choose to use a light roast instead of a dark roast coffee. The light roast is roasted for a shorter period of time, in this case it was 22 minutes, so therefore it used less energy. Additionally, we didn't heat up too much water in our brew, which saved energy as well, because heating up excess water would increase the amount of energy needed in heating the kettle. So using these techniques, we came out with a fairly good total energy score for the brew. So for the TDS and PE calculations, this roast had a TDS of 1.31 and a PE of 17.8%. With a brew ratio of 16, this brought us right on the border between ideal and bitter coffee. The PE of 17.8 fell right on the edge of ideal as well. Finally, the TDS was perfect and directly in the center of the ideal range. So as a whole, the coffee fell on the edge of ideal and bitter. In order to improve this, I would decrease the brew ratio from 16 to 15, which would land the brew closer to the center in the ideal sweet region. The location on the brew chart did match the taste because the brew could have been somewhat sweeter. So for the sensory evaluations, the coffee was measured as acidic at first, but this was only because it was too hot. So following this, the taste was not acidic at all, and the fragrance was very good as it was rated a 9. The body of the coffee was also good in addition to the aftertaste. The coffee was well balanced and was overall very good coffee. In a hypothetical future design, I would experiment with the air popcorn roaster. The air popcorn roaster has been shown to use the least amount of energy compared to the Nesco roaster in other trials. However, I was unsure what impact it would have on the flavor of the beans, so I chose not to use it for this design. However, in the future, I'd probably experiment with this roaster in order to minimize energy costs as much as possible. Additionally, I would experiment using Rwanda beans in an attempt to make the coffee non-acidic, since the Rwanda beans do have a very good flavor, but in our past trials, our Rwanda brews have been on the acidic side. Thanks for watching my video and enjoy your cup of coffee.